Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, and this is Mike Miller Talks Life. Today's thought: don't get even, get better. I've seen some great movies on the theme of revenge, getting even, paying back. The character is on some mission, and they travel long distances to settle the score, to get even with them for something that they have done. I've seen some great athletic events between two teams that are rivals, and they're called a grudge match because they just want to get even. The other guy beat them, and they want to get even and beat them. And sometimes these teams play hard. Road rage is on the rise, and it's all about getting even. You cut me off, I'm coming after you. You took my parking place, so I'm coming after you to get yours, or stuff like that. And in a way, revenge seems logical. You did this, I'll do this. But I think sometimes it takes us further than we want to go. And it's not the healthiest choice. The definition of revenge is basically taking action because someone hurt you and getting them back. And that's what it is about. It can be somebody calls you a rude name, and so you call them a rude name back. Someone damages property, so you damage theirs. Somebody has a party and doesn't invite you, and so you do the same. Somebody stabs you in the back, or steals from you, or betrays you, hurts somebody that you care about deeply. They prevent you from having what you deserve. They take credit for your material or your idea. Maybe they've abused you for a long time, and now you're out of that situation. You want to pay them back. You want to get even. But revenge is way more powerful than we realize, and it opens the door to a lot of problems. A group of Swiss researchers wanted to study revenge and getting even, and they wanted to do a study trying to determine brainwaves while we're getting revenge and on all this. So they had some people come and be a part of this study, and they would scan the brains of people who had just been wronged during a game that they set up in the lab. And then they set up the study for brainwaves, and then they would give them an opportunity to plan out how to get even. And they were interested to see how the brain indicated positive feelings, almost the same as when you're rewarded for something, when people would begin to plan revenge. But they also noted that these feelings don't last. Getting even really doesn't make us feel better. Like they discovered, we can feel good for a while, but it quickly fades. And those feelings go away. That sense of being rewarded diminishes. The movies make it look good, like you're almost getting closure, you're getting justice, but often the opposite of that is what really happens. Instead of quenching the hostility and easing the pain from the hurt or the feeling of satisfaction, it actually prolongs the pain of the original offense, and it keeps that wound open. You never seem to get past it. And it often can create a cycle of retaliation. Getting even can actually make us feel worse, because revenge will damage you. It'll radically change people, and not always for the better. Someone said revenge can make a killer out of a nun. That's a big change. Gandhi said, an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. Jesus said, long before Gandhi, as he was talking with religious leaders, he said, you have heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, and it was a challenge, let's do better. Let's resist the evil that comes from trying to get even. Turn the other cheek. He called it evil, and he equated getting even with evil because it opens the door to so many problems that damage us. Confucius said, before you embark on a journey of revenge, be sure to dig 2 graves, one for the person you intend to hurt and one for yourself. Getting even is allowing the person who hurt you to continue to control your life. We enter into this prison of bitterness. We're always hurt, always angry, always offended, always wanting to get even, unable to let anything go. And we are consumed by these things. It's just this person continuing to call the shots in your life. They're preventing growth, preventing joy, preventing you living a productive life. The quote says, don't get even, get better. It's a challenge to rise above the hurt, to use it to grow. We can seek justice. We can seek making something right. We can stand up for ourselves. We can confront the person when they do wrong and seek to work it out, seek to get apology. But if that doesn't work, you want to begin working on getting better. Getting better means that you refuse to stay stuck in the revenge cycle. And you're asking yourself, how can I grow from this? 2 things will bring growth, will open the door to future growth. The first is choose forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard, but sometimes we make it harder. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened. We're not wired to forget very many things. Though getting older, it feels like you forget a lot, but you don't forget much. And forgiveness is not saying that it doesn't matter. It's not saying that it didn't really hurt. It wasn't that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. And that's not what forgiveness is. And forgiveness is not choosing to hang out with a person who hurt you. That's reconciliation, and that's a totally different thing. Forgiveness is simply choosing to let them go. It's choosing to not get even, to not make them pay for what they did. And it's a statement from you. I have done all I can. I now let it go. That's what forgiveness is. I'm moving on. And that really needs to happen. And every time you start thinking about it, again, and you will, because that's how we're wired. You just have to make this clear statement to yourself. And sometimes I think it helps just to say it out loud. That's true. They hurt me. But I let that go. I am moving on. So choose forgiveness. And number 2, begin to pour yourself into something that matters to you. You want to take all of that energy that's wrapped up in seeking to get even and apply it to something good. Improve some area of your life. Something that you've been working on, something you enjoy doing. Pour yourself into that and try to get better at it. Or get involved in some cause that really matters. Choose to forgive and pour yourself into something that matters. Work at getting better. Those 2 things will open the door to using the hurt you've experienced instead of getting even, to get better. I want to mention briefly life purpose. I wonder if you have a purpose in life. We all need a purpose. We all need a purpose, and we need it to be something bigger than us that we live for. And when this purpose is missing, you are living for yourself only. And what happens is this simply causes us to be easily offended, easily hurt, and to get consumed in trying to get even. So we need a goal. We need a life purpose. People live for many things. We live for our families, our careers, our talents, doing things we enjoy that we feel give us meaning. And these are all fine things. They're all wonderful things. But you need your purpose to be bigger than you. And you need it to be something outside of you that can't be lost or taken away over time. And when you pick a purpose that's bigger than you, it actually helps you do better at all those other things that we're involved in that matter. I have chosen to be a follower of Jesus Christ. Now, this is not trying to get you to sign up. I'm just saying that this has provided me with a life purpose that's bigger than me. To be a follower of Jesus Christ means to belong to him and to become like him. And everything that happens in my life, good or bad, can be used by God to help me become more like Jesus Christ. So I can ask that question when I'm hurt by somebody and when I'm tempted to pursue getting even and getting them back. I can shift that and say, how can I use this to help me be a better follower of Jesus Christ, to become more like Christ? It's not easy. It's flat out difficult at times, and there are times I fail. But do you see how a purpose bigger than me, that will outlast me, actually helps me to grow? So I recommend trying to discover a purpose that's bigger than you. I recommend a life of faith. I mean, I feel like that provides such a great purpose. Well, in this time in our culture, you will have many opportunities to want to get even because people are in crazy moods. They like to argue, they like to fight, and they're going to offend you. They're going to call you bad names if you don't agree with their point of view, or worse. And so it's a great opportunity to work on, don't get even, get better. Man, you'll not regret it. If you begin to choose to get better, you'll grow, you'll find fulfillment in life, you'll be more productive. A tough task, but well worth it. Don't get even, get better. Hey, thanks so much for listening. I hope this had something to say to you. It feels kind of relevant to me because there's so much going on that creates this kind of tension and we want to get back at people. I hope that this kind of helps you to think about it, process it, and make that choice to try to get better instead of just getting even, which makes no progress at all. So if it's helped you or been kind of good for you to hear, I hope you'll click like or maybe even subscribe and maybe share it with somebody that you think is kind of stuck in getting even. Maybe this might help them to move out of that cycle. So until next time, I hope you have a good week and a healthy week. Thanks for listening.